Hey, look at this provision number 28 class 4. The value of any benefit or perquisite, whether convertible into money or not, arising from business or the exercise of a profession. Okay. So what is taxable under 28.4 is any benefit or perquisite, whether convertible into money or not, arising from the business or profession. So first of all, we have to understand the definition of a perquisite. What is meant by perquisite? What is meant by perquisite? So court has given a definition of a perquisite. Look at this. The term perquisite means, the term perquisite has two types of perquisites in this court. In this judgment, the court has used two types of perquisites. First one is meeting out of an obligation of one person by another person. This is one kind of perquisite. This is one kind of perquisite, meeting of obligation of one person by another person. Okay, meeting out of obligation, meeting out of an obligation of one person by another person. This is one kind of benefit. That means my obligation you are paying. I have employed a driver. Car is mine. I have employed a driver, but you are employing the driver's salary. Therefore, it is a perquisite for me. Okay, I am using maid or servant at my home. I am using the servant maid services, but you are paying for the maid. Therefore, it is a perquisite for me. My obligation you are meeting. My obligation you are meeting. That is called as a perquisite. Okay, my obligation you are meeting. That is called as a perquisite. Okay, right. So meeting out of an obligation of one person by another person. If my obligation you are paying the amount, then it is called as a perquisite. Or next point, or provision of some facility or amenity by another person, by one person to another person. This is the second category. Provision of some facility by or amenity by one person to another person. This is the second category of benefit. Okay, provision of some facility or benefit by one person to another person. Right. This is second kind of perquisite, right? So the second kind of perquisite, maybe you are giving a rent-free accommodation to me. You are giving a house to me. I am staying at house. That facility you are giving, or you are giving a telephone facility. Okay, this kind of facilities you are giving, furniture you are giving. So all these facilities you are giving. I am an employee of the club. You are giving a facility that along with my family members, I can go to the club anytime. That is what the point. Similar facility, provision of some facility. Okay, this is the second category of benefit. Okay, so this you might have read in the chapter called as salaries. Okay, rent-free accommodation, all those kind of perquisites, etc. Okay, provision of some facility. These are the two types of perquisites. These are the two types of perquisites. The common point in the perquisite, what is the important point or common point in the perquisite is that so from the very beginning, the person providing such facilities or concessions knows that whatever is being done is irretrievable to him, as it has been granted to a person as a privilege or right of that person. From the very beginning, we have to understand this point. From the very beginning, it is known that it is irretrievable. From the very beginning, everybody knows that it is irretrievable. It cannot be retrievable. Okay. From the very beginning knows that whatever is being done is irretrievable. That means you are paying my servant salary, you are paying my driver's salary, but at the time of payment itself, you know that I don't pay to you. You don't get back that money. That's why it is called as a perquisite. Okay. Today you are paying my servant's salary. Right? At the time of payment itself, you know that I am not going to repay. Whatever you paid to my servant is not reversible to you. You will not get back that. It is not recoverable to you. That is the characteristics of the perquisite. So whatever we have done at the beginning is irretrievable. We cannot get back that. That is only called as a perquisite. Okay. మనం పే చేసినప్పుడే మనకు తెలుసు మనం పే చేసింది మళ్ళీ మనకు తిరిగి రాదు అనేది. అలాంటి వాటిని పర్క్విజిట్స్ అంటారు. మనం పే చేసేటప్పుడే మనకు తెలుసు మనం ఏదైతే పే చేస్తున్నామో అది మళ్ళీ మనకు తిరిగి రాదు అని. అలాంటి వాటిని పర్క్విజిట్స్ అన్నారు. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద పాయింట్. From the very beginning knows that whatever is being done is irretrievable. Okay, right. So this is the important definition to be read. Sir, why this is the important definition to be read? Because there are the other case laws are there. That case laws also uses this logic. First of all, you don't know what is meant by perquisite. If you don't know what is meant by perquisite, you cannot conclude whether a particular transaction is taxable or not. Okay, so therefore, two types of perquisites: meeting of obligations of another person or providing facility to another person. Okay, so meeting of obligations of another person or providing facilities to some other person. These two kinds of perquisite. What is the essential characteristic of a perquisite? From the very beginning, the payer knows that it is irretrievable. From the very beginning, the payer knows that it cannot be recovered. Okay, from the very beginning, the payer knows that it cannot be recovered. Okay, right. Now the concept is there are many case laws which which arise waiver of a loan, waiver of loan, waiver of a loan. This concept has came in many cases. This concept has discussed in many cases. I have taken a loan. I have taken a loan. Later on, I am not able to repay. Okay, banker has waived it. As per the RBI guidelines or as per the government guidelines, banker has waived it. Normally, you might have observed farmer loans, etc. Or now because of COVID or lockdowns, etc. We are restructuring some loans. Government is waiving some portion of the loan. Government is waiving some portion of the loan. So therefore, waiver of a loan, whether it is a benefit to the borrower or not. Waiver of a loan, whether it is a benefit to the borrower or not. Okay. Waiver of a loan, whether it is a benefit to the borrower or not, that we have to understand. Waiver of a loan, whether it is a benefit to the borrower or not, that we have to see. Right. I'll show you. Okay, waiver of a loan, waiver of a loan, whether it is a benefit to the borrower or not. Say for example, lender is there. We are talking about the lender. Okay, lender is there, borrower is there, lender is there, borrower is there, and lender has given a loan to the borrower. Lender has given a loan to the borrower. Lender has given a loan to the borrower, and the borrower has not paid. Borrower has not paid. Therefore, lender gave it a waive off. Okay, lender has given a loan. Borrower has not paid it. It is a waiver. It is a waiver to the borrower. Now the question is whether it is taxable. Whether this waiver is taxable to this person or not. Now the question is whether this waiver is taxable to that person or not. That is the question. Whether the loan waived by the lender, whether it is a taxable income to the borrower or not. That is the question. In many cases, the same question came, right? But the court judgments are no. Waiver of such loan is not covered under Section 28, Clause 4. Okay, whatever we are discussing, Section 28, Clause 4, waiver of loan does not come under here. That is the conclusion. All court judgments, same conclusion. Waiver of loan does not come under Section 28, Clause 4. Why, sir? Why it will not come under? Why it will not come under, right? The first point is that it is a cash receipt. Okay, waiver of loan is in fact a cash receipt. Waiver of loan is in fact a cash receipt. Okay, cash receipts are not covered here. Here benefit or perquisite means only kind. Some benefit only in kind receipts. Only in kind. Whatever we receive in kind, whatever we have received in kind, only those are taxable here. Whatever we have received in kind, only those are taxable. Only those are taxable. Okay. Whatever we have received in kind, only those are taxable. So here, this is a cash receipt. Waiver of loan is a cash receipt. Today they are waiving the loan, but initially we have received in cash only. Therefore, it is a cash receipt. Accordingly, it is not covered. Okay. So therefore, the court judge Section 28, Clause 4 covers when the value of benefit or perquisites would arise. Only the benefit or perquisites is not in cash. Only non-cash items are covered here. What is the court judgment? Only non-cash items are covered under Section 28, Clause 4. Only non-cash items are covered under Section 28, Clause 4. Section 28, Clause 4 will come into the picture only it is a non-cash item. If it is a cash item, it will not cover. So therefore, the court judge it is really a cash receipt. But this provision attracts only when it is not a cash receipt, non-cash item. Okay. So waiver of loan is a cash receipt. Waiver of loan is a cash receipt. 28 Clause 4 applies only to non-cash receipts. Accordingly, waiver of loan does not come under Clause 3. Okay, right. That is what the point. Section 28. Section 28 Clause 4. Section 28 Clause 4 applies only for non-cash receipts. Applies only for non-cash receipts. Applies only for non-cash receipts. Waiver of loan is a cash receipt. Waiver of loan is a cash receipt. Therefore, Section 28 Clause 4 does not apply to waiver of loan. Does not apply to waiver of loan. Okay. So waiver of Section 28 applies only for non-cash receipt, whereas Section waiver of loan is a cash receipt. Accordingly, 28 Clause 4 does not apply to waiver of loan. That is the point. Next, some other argument. Some people has argued that, sir, why can't we charge it under the head called as benefit? Okay, it is not a perquisite. Obviously, it is not a perquisite. Moreover, waiver of loan is not a perquisite. Moreover, waiver of loan is not a perquisite. Further, waiver of a loan. Further, waiver of a loan is not a perquisite. Further, a waiver of a loan is not a perquisite. Why, sir, waiver of a loan is not a perquisite? Okay, why the waiver of a loan is not a perquisite? Okay, the reason why the waiver of loan is not a perquisite, the reason is that at the time of paying, at the time of giving the loan, whether the lender knows that he will not get back the loan? No. At the time of giving the loan, the lender is not sure that he will not get back the loan. లోన్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు తెలుసా లెండర్కి తిరిగి రాదని? కాదు కదా. లోన్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు తిరిగి వస్తుందని అనుకున్నాడు, తర్వాత తెలిసింది రికవరీ కాదు అని. ఓకే, అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ ఎ లోన్ లెండర్ డోంట్ నో దట్ ఇట్ వాస్ నాట్ రికవరబుల్. At the time of giving a loan, lender don't know that it was not recoverable. Whereas here perquisite means at the time of giving itself, the giver should know that it is not recoverable. The giver should know that it is not recoverable. Okay, right. This is because why? Okay, why waiver of loan is not appropriate? This is because perquisite, essential condition of perquisite is that essential condition of perquisite is that at the time of giving itself, at the time of giving or payment itself, the payer or giver, the giver or payer knows that it will not be recovered. But in case of loan, at the time of granting the loan itself, at the time of granting the loan itself, the lender don't know. At the time of granting the loan, okay, in case of loan, at the time of granting the loan, the lender don't know that it is not recovered. Okay, at the time of granting the loan, the lender don't know that it was not recovered. Don't know that it was irrecoverable. It was not recoverable. He don't know that. At the time of lending a loan, he don't know that. If he knows that it was not recoverable, why any fool will give a loan? లోన్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడే తిరిగి రాదు అని తెలిస్తే ఎవరైనా ఇస్తారా? అంటే లోన్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు అది మనకు రికవరీ అవుతుందని అనుకుంటున్నాం. ఓకే, at the time of giving a loan, we are of the opinion that it will be recoverable. At the time of giving a loan itself, if we are of the opinion that it cannot be recovered, why any fool will give a loan? No fool will give a loan. At the time of giving itself, if a lender knows that it was not recoverable, then no fool will give a loan. That means at the time of giving a loan, lender don't know that it is irrecoverable. But whereas perquisite, the essential condition of perquisite is that at the time of giving itself, you know that it is not recoverable. At the time of giving itself, if you know that it is not recoverable, that's why it is called as a perquisite. Then only it is called as a perquisite. So this is the reason waiver of loan is not a perquisite. Accordingly, therefore, 228 class 4 does not apply to waiver of loan. Okay, waiver of loan. That is one point. It is not a perquisite. Waiver of loan applies only to cash receipts. That is in the form of non-cash receipts, in the form of perquisites or benefits. Section 28 class 4 applies only for non-cash receipts in the form of perquisites or benefits. Okay, ma? Right. So it is the cash receipt. That is one reason why loan cannot be recovered. Further, it is not a perquisite. First, it is a cash receipt. Second point, it is a perquisite. Okay, it is not a perquisite. Second reason, it is not a perquisite. Okay, ma? Second reason, it is not a perquisite. Why it cannot be taxable? Next, third reason is that, okay, even if you take it as a benefit, somebody has argued, okay sir, it is not a perquisite, I agree. Okay, it is not a perquisite, I agree, because at the time of giving itself, the lender don't know that it was not recoverable. Therefore, I agree that it is not a perquisite. But why can't we treat it as a benefit? Why can't we charge it as a benefit? This is another argument. Okay, so okay sir, I convinced it is not a perquisite. Perquisite must be non-kind. And one of the essential condition of perquisite is that initially we should know that it was not recoverable. Okay, those two conditions are failed. Those two important conditions of perquisites has been failed here. Okay, perquisite should be in kind. Initially no upward. Initially knows irrecoverable. Okay, it was in kind and initially knows irrecoverable. Okay, these two conditions have been failed. Therefore, it is not a perquisite. Why can't I go for the benefit? Because the provision covers both benefit and perquisite. Then the question arises, okay sir, why can't it be charged under benefit? That is the question. For that also court has given a reply. Okay, for that also court has given a reply. Look at this. So they have used together, benefit or perquisite, they have used together. Therefore, they have to be read together and would draw color from each other. That means benefit, you should not read the word benefit in isolation. The word benefit has to be read in conjunction with the perquisite. Okay, we should not read the word benefit in isolation. The word benefit has to be read in conjunction with the perquisite. The word benefit has to be read in conjunction with the perquisite. That means since both the word benefit and perquisites are used together, since the word benefit is used along with the word perquisite, 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 it has to be read. It has to be read in light of perquisite. In light of perquisite, it has to be read in light of perquisite. In other words, not all benefits are taxable. Not all benefits are covered. Only those benefits which are in the nature of perquisite, which are in the nature of perquisite are covered. Okay, not all though, but okay, but only those benefits which are in the nature of perquisites are covered. This is what the conclusion was. This is what is the conclusion. Okay. Okay, some people are arguing, okay, sir, I agree. Perquisite, two conditions: perquisite must be non-kind, and perquisite at the time of giving itself, we should know that it is not recoverable. In this case, both has been failed. It is in cash, and also we don't know that it was not recoverable. Therefore, these two conditions are failed. Since these two conditions are failed, it is not a perquisite. Okay, then what about the benefit? Can it be treated as a benefit? No. Can it be treated as a benefit? So waiver of loan is a benefit, but that benefit is not in the nature of perquisite. What section 28 class 4 covers? Section 28 class 4 covers only those benefits in the nature of perquisite. It does not cover all the benefits. It does not cover all the benefits. That is what the meaning of this point. Withdraw color from each other means both should be similar. Both should be similarity. That means not all benefits are taxable. Only benefits in the form of perquisites are taxable. Not all benefits are taxable. Only benefits in the form of perquisites are taxable. Accordingly, the conclusion is that waiver of loan is not a taxable. Waiver of loan is not covered under section 28 class 1. Whether it will cover under section 41, that will discuss later. There is some other section called as section 41. That will discuss later. For the time being, we are clear that it is not covered under section 28 class 4. It is not covered under section 28 class 4. Okay. That is what the point was. Not all the benefits are taxable. Only those benefits which are in the nature of perquisites are taxable. Okay, applies only for non-cashes in the form of perquisites or benefits. This is the reason. Therefore, it does not apply to waiving of a loan. Okay, that's it.